the campus actually looks green when you get placed. And cloud computing was something which I discovered accidentally. I never prepared anything extra for going into cloud computing industry. Yeah, they definitely do not expect that you are a master of something in your intern interviews. But getting an internship from NIT Silchar, to be very specific, from NIT Silchar is a little harder than getting a job, because their vacancies are very small and the number of companies that visit for internships are much less than those who visit for full times.
Welcome to episode 7 of Kahania, and today with us is a senior, a brother who has got placed like the highest, and this will be an honor to take this podcast and actually have a conversation regarding everything. Starting from maybe JEE. We understand that from over the last few sessions we have been talking about JEE, but then it's a never-ending cycle because everyone comes from a different background, everyone comes from a different scenario. And so for everyone, getting the exam, doing the examination, and then getting placed to a level which even I think they don't expect is a wonderful and a beautiful scenario to see. And with that, I'll start with Ajanit Bhaiya being our guest for today. Let's start with, how does it feel now after getting placed, like highest in EIE?
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, we'll expect a party after this though. But
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. And first of all, before answering your question, I would just like to thank the entire team of Kahania for having me here. And me, along with some other students of my batch, are placed in the same company. Although I cannot reveal the name, but yeah, it feels great. Definitely, anyone would have said that getting the highest package or something, that was definitely not a part of the dream. Since I got that, I was fortunate enough, I guess. Somewhere luck was a very important factor in this too. And I think I am definitely grateful to everyone, every single person, to my seniors, to my juniors even, and to my batchmates, especially my friends, and also the college supported me a lot.
no, when it comes to NIT and specifically NIT Silchar, right? We understand that this college is in Northeast, and even when I tried joining, ये बहुत देखा था मैंने कि people mostly avoid Northeast colleges because एक चीज़ होती है कि placements इतनी अच्छी नहीं होती. Getting placed in a highest realm, I think, in the Northeast or whatever, say in all the other NITs possibly here, what does it feels from the perspective कि placements कैसे है actually, मतलब जो perspective दिखाया जाता है कि शायद से तो NIT सिलचर है, इतना अच्छा कॉलेज नहीं होगा, फिर भी placements कैसे होंगे, मतलब for the person who will just join, maybe जो सोच रहा है अभी next year जोसा का form fill up करेगा, उनके लिए what do you want to say कि it's like, is it possible that at the end of the day, I know college tag matters, but what matters more is your own authentication and your skill. So what do you want to say about this?
To be very honest, putting it straightforward, I understand the notion that Northeast colleges have some transportation issues and connectivity issues than the rest of the mainstream India. But as I said, I'll be honest, NIT Silchar is a very good college. When it comes to placement specifically, NIT Silchar is doing pretty good from the last maybe 4 or 5 years. So when it comes to placements, NIT Silchar is one of the best colleges, I will say, out of the NITs. As you know that it is one of the top, it comes under the top 10 NITs. So good companies do visit our campus. And more than that, definitely I cannot reveal, but a huge part of this thanks goes to the training and placement cell of our college. They're doing a very good job. And I think, placements are good, and it's not about being in Northeast or something. Yeah, definitely they face some issues while inviting the companies or so. But if you are good in your skills, if you are determined from a very young stage in the college, like if suppose you're in the second year and then you carry a dream forward that you are gonna get placed in a good company, you are gonna do all the hard work it takes to do so, definitely you can get placed in a very good company.
So when you joined this college, यही प्लान था कि यही कॉलेज चाहिए या, और दिस इज लाइक, आई विल आस्क दिस, हर किसी का सपना सीएस था.
डेफिनेटली
रैंक की वजह से सीएस नहीं मिलता है, बट देन यू टुक अ जॉब इन सीएस.
एग्जैक्टली,
काइंड ऑफ
सॉफ्टवेयर,
या सॉफ्टवेयर,
डोमेन इज सॉफ्टवेयर.
सो ये क्यों स्ट्राइक किया कि मतलब अभी यू आर इन अ कोर ब्रांच, राइट? ऐसा व्हाई यू डिडंट चूज कोर? Why you didn't choose core and you chose software, and then why you chose cloud computing over software? Because software भी बोला जाता है तो then it's more about SD1, it's about SD2, it's about normal roles DSA, algorithms and normal rules. So you choose cloud computing over that. Then how was this?
So basically, I'll be answering your first question. That is, why did you, how did you come to EIE and how your interest went towards software?
Actually, let's go a more little back. Tell me, how was it back in class 10, 11? ये engineering का सपना कहाँ से है? And then we'll start on. Okay.
So basically, my dad was a science teacher, and after that, I got motivated towards science and maths right from back then in high school. So when I was in class 9th, 10th, he used to bring some magazines known as Spectrum, where there are certain topics which revolved around exams like joint entrance exams and stuff. Uh, I belong to a small village that's situated in Upper Assam in an area known as Jorhat, and there people rarely know what actually JEE, NEET, IAT or IIT advanced exams. They do not know about all those things. But when I came to class 10 and then till class 8, I was a very normal student. I used to do all that masti mazak and stuff. From class 9, I was pretty much involved in studies, and then अच्छे grades आ गए थे 9th में 10th में. तो सबने ये बोला कि since अच्छे grades आ रहे तो तुमको science लेना है. But I was pretty clear that I have always wanted to be an engineer since those days. And my love for mathematics grew in class 9th and 10th when there was this teacher of mine. I would like to take his name. So his name was Ajanit Bora. And from that time, I was pretty much confident in mathematics. And then when it came to class 11th and 12th, I didn't have a very good coaching. But yeah, my love for maths and physics, took me to here.
So I will highlight your part of coaching, because I understand that I was from this one coaching. Well, I'll not reveal the name. It's a big coaching. It's like green t-shirt coaching. You'll understand.
Yeah, I got it.
So so what happened was कि ये नहीं होता, हर किसी को गाइडेंस नहीं मिलती. मैंने भी जब ज्वाइन किया था, यू अंडरस्टैंड इट्स अ मोर ऑफ अ रैट रेस. इन दैट बिग कोचिंग यू आर नो वन इफ यू आर नॉट इन द टॉप. So I had to leave that coaching to find another way of studying. That's a different story. But tell me, how is it, since you said that you come from a village kind of an area where there is not much of resource to be shared for you want to get into engineering colleges. I think to a certain extent फिर भी असम इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज का मतलब वो होता है, वो हर किसी को होता है. मेरी मम्मी को भी वही कॉलेज पता था, दूसरे किसी चीज़ का बारे में पता नहीं था. बट देन यू गिव अ डिफरेंट एग्जाम फॉर स्टेट कॉलेजेस, राइट? एंड दिस इज अ नेशनल कॉलेज. सो टेल मी मोर अबाउट how your JEE life went through 11 and 12. ऐसा हुआ था क्या कि from 11 you were too determined, you didn't like किसी का और चक्कर नहीं, बस 11 से पढ़ाई, 12 से पढ़ाई, and then you got the college? Yeah, was this the ideal scenario? या फिर इसके बीच में भी there were certain lows, certain highs, कुछ हुआ था? तो please highlight on this.
See, yeah, I agree. Everyone has their own story. So 11th में क्या हुआ था कि मुझे डिटर्मिनेशन था कि JEE देना है, मस्त कॉलेज लेना है, हो सके तो टॉप NIT लेना है या फिर IIT में जाना है. हर किसी का सपना होता है IIT, बट सैडली आई डिडंट मेक टू इट. एंड देयर वेयर हाइज एंड देयर वेयर लोज. एंड जब मैं 11th में था तो मेरा पढ़ाई में थोड़ा अच्छा शौक था कि मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम्स करना है, मैथ्स करना है, फिजिक्स करना है. केमिस्ट्री में काफ़ी लो इंटरेस्ट था, फिर भी करता था मैं. एंड देन व्हेन आई केम टू क्लास 12th देयर वेयर अदर चक्कर्स ऑफ माइन एज वेल, जो हवा लगता है सबको, मेरा भी लगा था थोड़ा. तो एंड देन माई ग्रेड्स फेल ड्रेस्टिकली. एंड देन आफ्टर दैट आई रियलाइज कि नहीं, पहला अटेम्प्ट मेरा जनवरी में हो चुका था और पहला अटेम्प्ट में मेरा बहुत कम परसेंटाइल आया था. टू बी प्रिसाइज, आई गॉट अ मियर परसेंटाइल ऑफ 75, जो मेरे को कोई भी कॉलेज नहीं देता. And then after that, I worked hard, and somewhere COVID was a boon to me, because when
you all got 4 attempts or
two
like
attempts, just
attempts?
two. One on January and the next on July, I guess.
Okay, you had a gap in between,
June,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
June or July. And then when I was within those 4-5 months, जो गैप था मेरा, उसी में मैंने पढ़ाई शुरू किया, अच्छे से पढ़ा. सो उस टाइम पे आई एम ग्रेटफुल टू 2 of my friends, ज्ञानदीप गोगोई एंड कौशिक दे, फॉर they gave me their materials of coaching, and then I studied all those things, and then somehow I made it to JEE. and second attempt में मेरा अच्छा परसेंटाइल था, जिससे मुझे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन इंजीनियरिंग NIT सिलचर में मुझे मिल गया.
आपने ये सोचा कि आई थिंक मे बी आई कैन टेक अनदर ड्रॉप एंड मे बी इम्प्रूव इट टू गेटिंग अ CS, ये कभी सोचा? या फिर इट वाज लाइक कि नहीं, मिल गया, आई थिंक आई एम सेटिस्फाइड एंड नाउ आई विल अभी कॉलेज में फोड़ेंगे, ये ऐसा था?
हाँ, उस टाइम पे मेरा क्या हुआ था कि पहले तो मुझे कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा था द वेरी फर्स्ट, बिकॉज आई ऑलवेज वांटेड टू बी एन इंजीनियर. सो मुझे पहले जो स्टेट एंट्रेंस था उससे मुझे SM इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में एक सीट मिला, और हॉस्टल अलॉट हो गया था ऑलरेडी वहाँ पे. फिर उसके बाद जोसा काउंसलिंग स्टार्ट हुआ, उसके बाद मुझे NIT सिलचर मिला. एंड देन जब मेरे को पता चला कि मेरे पास ये ऑप्शंस है, तो मुझे लगा कि हाँ, इसी में कर लेंगे. आई डेफिनेटली हैड द कॉन्फिडेंस कि मुझे कुछ भी मिल जाए, कुछ तो अच्छा मैं कर लूँगा उस टाइम पे. एंड द सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, आई मीन literally the third question that you asked is, did you want to go for CS even after getting EIE, or why did you choose coding over your
core
core
branch.
branch
Mhm.
studies? ऐसा मैं जब आया था यहाँ पे, तो मैं हमेशा प्रैक्टिकली सोचता हूँ. तो जब मैंने उस टाइम पे सीनियर्स के साथ बात किया, तो मुझे लगा कि सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री इज़ ग्रोइंग एट दैट टाइम. सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री वॉज ग्रोइंग. एंड हाँ, रिसेशन की वजह से थोड़ा सा प्लेसमेंट्स में अभी असर पड़ रहा है, लेकिन उस टाइम पे दैट वाज आल्सो अ फैक्टर कि प्लेसमेंट्स वेयर गुड इन द सॉफ्टवेयर डोमेन. सेकेंडली, मुझे कंप्यूटर्स हमेशा से पसंद थे. आई वांटेड टू नो हाउ कंप्यूटर्स वर्क, हाउ थिंग्स वर्क, हाउ कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेजेस आर रिटन. मुझे हाँ, कोडिंग में इंटरेस्ट आ गया तब से, जब मैं घुसा इस सब्जेक्ट में. लाइक हाउ when I went to the depths of coding, I was more interested. And cloud computing was something which I discovered accidentally. I never prepared anything extra for going into cloud computing industry or something. But when I got into a cloud computing company, they made me learn cloud. So they made me learn cloud. I didn't have any prerequisites for cloud. That's how my cloud computing journey.
So before coming on to cloud computing and going to the realms of it, I'll ask, you entered college, you gave your JEE, okay, now getting into EIE. ये कब हिट हुआ टू अ सर्टेन, मतलब एक तो होता है ऊपर ऊपर से कि सॉफ्टवेयर में जाएंगे, ये जाएंगे, बट एक अंदर से भी आता है राइट कि अभी अभी प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करना है. तो लाइक टेल मी योर कॉलेज ईयर्स, लाइक योर लास्ट सेमेस्टर इज लेफ्ट, I
Yeah,
guess, and
this is
you
my
will be,
last
and
semester.
then you'll not be here for the
I'll
entire
not be
semester.
physically here.
Yeah,
I'll
so
be
you'll
going for a 6-month intern.
since 6 months.
Yeah.
We'll coming on the internship as well. We'll come on to the internship as well. But before that, I just want to just me highlight to me how was your 4 years. Like again, जैसे जेई में होता है राइट कि फ्रॉम अ आउटर पर्सपेक्टिव लोगों को लगता है कि 11 अच्छा जाएगा, 12 अच्छा जाएगा, जेई मिल जाएगा, काम होता है. इट्स लाइक अ स्ट्रीम लाइन पाथ, ऐसे वो कर्व्स नहीं दिखते राइट. वैसे ही कॉलेज में भी फर्स्ट ईयर पढ़ूंगा, सेकंड ईयर पढ़ूंगा, थर्ड ईयर, फोर्थ ईयर प्लेसमेंट लेके भागूंगा. तो इतना जो स्ट्रीम लाइन होता नहीं है. गोइंग इन टू डेप्थ, हाउ वॉज योर लाइफ बैक इन कॉलेज राइट फ्रॉम योर फर्स्ट ईयर, कि फर्स्ट ईयर से ही आपने कोडिंग करना स्टार्ट कर दिया, या फर्स्ट ईयर थोड़ी थोड़ी बकचोदी में चली गई, सेकेंड ईयर देन थर्ड ईयर देन एवरीथिंग केम अलॉन.
1.5 years of my whole college life was online. The first 1.5 years.
ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट हाउ ऑनलाइन कॉलेज वॉज.
बकचोदी था, जो तुमने बताया अभी, पूरा बकचोदी था, और कुछ नहीं था उसके अलावा. Like there were toppers wrote answers, we copied from them, we got marks, to be very honest. And हर कोई बंदा यही करता था. एंड उसके बाद जब कॉलेज आया, तब हिट हुआ कि पढ़ना शुरू करना है, पढ़ाई शुरू करना है अभी. एंड देन पहला एग्ज़ाम जो था, उसमें ग्रेड्स डेफिनेटली फेल. एंड देन आई रियलाइज इट्स टाइम टू स्टडी. एंड एट दैट टाइम आई वॉज जस्ट फोकस्ड ऑन माई CG. I had a very good roommate. He's from Rajasthan, and he's a very good roommate. I mean, he motivated me to study as well. So at that time, I somehow hiked my pointer to a good level. And then after that, what I did is, his brother was a software engineer. My roommate's brother was a software engineer. So he used to motivate him that ये करो, वो करो, ये करना है, ये project करना है, ML करना है, DSA करना है, web करना है. So after that, I got introduced to all these terms. And then I knew all those terms. But after that, when I came to my college, मुझे पता चला कि projects कहाँ पे करना है, कैसे करना है. And then as you asked about my journey, first year में I didn't do any coding or anything. Second year में आया, पहला एग्ज़ाम गया, मिड सेमिस्टर गया. When I was in my fourth semester, I started coding very well. I started giving एक्स्ट्रा टाइम टू कोडिंग. जो मेरा कोर्स वर्क था, उसके अलावा भी आई गेव मे बी ईच डे ऑन ए रफ एस्टिमेट आई गेव 2 to 3 years फॉर कोडिंग. लाइक देयर वेयर टाइम्स व्हेन आई डिडंट कोड, देयर वेयर टाइम्स व्हेन आई डिडंट स्टडी एनीथिंग. ऑफ कोर्स हर किसी के लाइफ में होता है, लेकिन एक ऐसा था कि मुझे आज कोडिंग का 2-3 प्रॉब्लम तो करना ही है. आई डिड दैट. I was not a guy who used to code for long hours, but I was a guy who was consistent. वो मैं मानता हूँ. तो मेरे रूममेट के साथ ये मैं कोडिंग मतलब ऐसे कंसिस्टेंटली करता था. सो दिस बिल्ट माई फाउंडेशन DSA का जो foundation होता है, you might have heard data structures and algorithms, which are the basic things which you need for cracking any software job. So ये जो चीज़ है, problem solving skills, I developed back then from my fourth sem in college. Third year में आया, fourth sem से मैं continue किया इस चीज़ को. And then when I was in third year, whole third year I coded, and then my company visited my campus on last year Feb. So at that time I was having a good grasp over DSA and other computer science fundamental subjects which are required for an interview. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
And then the internship. How was internship?
It
Like,
was a
it's
very
like
good experience. I mean, it was a 2 month
internship.
internship.
How? What does it take to crack an internship? Is it same as how do you crack an placement, or they don't expect that much level?
Yeah, they definitely do not expect that you are a master of something in your intern interviews, but getting an internship from NIT Silchar, to be very specific, from NIT Silchar is a little harder than getting a job, because their vacancies are very small and the number of companies that visit for internships are much less than those who visit for full times. If in a certain branch, like let's say CS is in a certain branch, say there are 100 people, out of the 100 people maybe 90 plus get placed, and only like 45 people get into internships. So that pretty much summarizes the answer for your question, I guess. But yeah, when it comes to level of questions, when it comes to DSA, the level is almost same. When it comes to computer science fundamentals, when I say fundamentals, those include operating systems, database management systems, object-oriented programming, and computer networks. So those questions, the level of those questions are a little easier in intern interview than in the full-time interview. That's it.
Tell me, since now you were from a core branch, so I expect that in core branch not everything is taught in CS. So how did you, like, if you need to break your base apart from your coursework, how, when, and how did you start it? With what resources you started? What was your timeline of understanding things that now I'll understand now I'll understand what is it, database management system, now I'll understand this and this. How was your timeline? Or is it like ki before getting the internship, it was like ki 6 mahine pehle I will start and I'll work? Because you said that you worked even earlier, right? So how much in this, how much was that कि कोर्स ने हेल्प किया, एक्चुअल कोर्स ने हेल्प किया, कॉलेज के कोर्स ने मे बी आपके पास थोड़े सब्जेक्ट ऐसे होंगे, या फिर हाउ मच यू एलोकेटेड फ्रॉम योर टाइम, और कौन से रिसोर्सेज फॉलो किए? Was it pure YouTube या फिर कोई paid resources कैसा?
First of all, the base to my coding skills, I think a large contribution is to that is from the college as well, because there are courses like Introduction to C language. There's a course known as data structures and algorithms. There's even a course as computer networks, which comes under elective in our branch. Those subjects help me a lot. But when we go to the advanced questions or problems, then definitely some of the resources are required. YouTube is pretty much a good resource. I started with YouTube when it comes to C++ or any object-oriented programming language like Python, or anyone might choose anything, but I chose C++ since it was very close to C. तो C++ मैंने वहाँ से पढ़ा, and then after that I started a coursework, DSA coursework from Geeks for Geeks. So it was termed as something self-placed DSA course. So Sandeep Jain sir का है वो, and he's a very good mentor. And my basics of DSA, like there are different data structures. Like when you talk about arrays, you might talk about linked list, you might talk about stacks, queues, and trees, maps, graphs. Everything is explicitly explained in that course, and anyone can learn from that course from level 0.
It was a paid course?
It was a paid course.
Okay.
I do not remember the exact price, but if you tell me to suggest a course to your juniors or something, then I'll definitely say that go for Geeks for Geeks is a very good course. And then DSA, वहाँ पे वही किया मैंने DSA के लिए. And then coming to DBMS, I followed this Love
Bubber's playlist.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
That's a very famous. And particularly in DSA, when you talk about dynamic programming, I followed Striver.
Yeah. Okay.
Take you forward. And then when it comes to operating systems, I It's not a very famous channel, but I followed Jenny's lectures.
JEE lecture. We didn't
Yeah.
hear of that, but I
Yeah.
get it. I'll just put on all the links that Bhaiya will share below.
Definitely. And computer networks, yeah, we had a very good professor who taught us computer networks in our college. So for computer networks, I never went through any other research, but yeah, I went through the notes from Geeks for Geeks.
I think when it is said right कि college बहुत कुछ नहीं सिखाता है, it's I think a little wrong statement, depends upon
It's
the
a
professor
cliche.
of who teaches
Yeah.
you.
It's a
अगर if
cliche.
it's a very good professor,
Yeah.
then you learn a lot, I guess. तब
Definitely.
YouTube देखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, right?
Hmm.
Okay, understandable.
Exactly.
You got internship. Like, where was the internship? I think it was in Bangalore, right?
My internship was in Hyderabad.
Okay, it was in Hyderabad.
It was in Nanakramgura.
Nanakramgura. So how was the hands-on experience of going there? पहले तो internship मिला, मम्मी को कॉल किया होगा. It was like a very nice party thing. दोस्तों ने पार्टी मांगी होगी. फिर after that जब पहुँचे, how was there the exact not the culture, but how was that? क्योंकि now you are not in your college circle. Exactly. You are with professionals. You are in your
Getting outside
professional
of your
life.
comfort zone,
Comfort of
yeah.
out of your comfort zone, right? Now for most of the people जो शायद इंग्लिश भी ना बोले, उनके लिए पहली बार इंग्लिश भी बोलना पड़ेगा, कि उनके लिए पीपीटी बनाना पड़ेगा, ये बोलना बहुत सारी चीजें होती है, right?
Professional
Yeah, you have to be
enough.
professional, right? So how was the that culture, like getting into that zone? How does that felt?
That felt very good. Like when you transform yourself and you exceed your boundaries of comfort, it makes you exceed your limits, and it really helps in your self development as well. And the 2 months that I spent in Hyderabad, those were the best 2 months of my life when it comes to professional growth, learning how things work in a company. And the team, I would like to say, the team of our company was very supportive when it comes to learning new things, getting hands-on experience over cloud or getting hands-on experience over any other tech stack. They were very supportive. And so when I interacted with industry leaders, with prominent individuals of that organization where I worked, I felt कि सबसे कुछ ना कुछ मैंने सीखा है, and that definitely helped me to take the next step. And yeah, we had, from our college, there were like 9 interns in that particular company, and all those 9 people got full-time offers in that.
They got the PPO, right? Yeah. How much time does it take to get your PPO?
If you are working as a 2 months intern, after the end of your tenure, within 2 to 3 weeks, you get to know whether you're getting a PPO or not. But that depends. But that varies from company to company. But our company was like, they told us ki you guys will got a full-time offer after like 2 to 3 weeks after we exited from there.
So you get a mail, right?
From the HR department.
From the
Definitely.
HR department, okay. And how does it feel after getting PPO? Now, because you got the PPO, now you understand your 4th year is stressless when it comes to getting placed. जो सबसे बड़ा aim था, या फिर a little stress भी था, बहुतों के लिए stress भी होता है,
exactly.
वो खत्म हो गया. So what happened after that? अभी how was your 7th, 8th, 7th?
The placement season started, and then right after the placement season started, within 2 to 3 weeks, we got the mail that we got a pre-placement offer there. So after that, we definitely felt good. Everyone does. And then we informed it to our parents. तो वो एक इमोशनल मोमेंट था जब मैंने अपने मम्मी को फ़ोन करके बताया था कि हाँ फाइनली प्लेसमेंट लग गया है. सबका होता है एक, एंड आई होप तुम लोग का भी होगा. आफ्टर दैट व्हेन यू गेट अ जॉब इन योर 4th ईयर एंड यू रियलाइज कि अभी द कैंपस एक्चुअली लुक्स ग्रीन व्हेन यू गेट प्लेस्ड. दैट्स द आंसर.
Got it. That's a nice answer. Yeah. Okay. So if you understand it, you understand it. Yeah. Placements and everything done. You have like, I guess, 1 month and then you leave.
Not quite 1 month.
Less than a month.
Yeah, maybe 15-20 days.
Okay. Whenever the call from the up comes, exactly, you leave. So what do you plan now? अभी plan क्या है कि after you leave, so एक बार तो exam देने के लिए आना पड़ेगा, that I understand.
Exactly.
And convocation
We
के लिए एक
have
बार
to
आना
come,
पड़ेगा.
yeah, exactly.
But before that, like अभी anything in mind कि कुछ करना है. वैसे एक चीज़ होती है ना, that once you get placed, now you understand to a monetary revenue, you now have a monetary revenue on a monthly basis. अभी parents के ऊपर dependent नहीं है, self independent person. So do you think
That's the best feeling ever.
That's the best feeling,
Best
right?
feeling ever.
So now, do you think you'll along with your work, you will follow some kind of your passion or some form of any? I think you have also got a new bike, right? You're going to talk about that.
I got a new bike back in December.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a craze for motorcycles and cars since my childhood. So I like this Royal Enfield tag. So definitely I got a new Hunter 350 back in this.
Congratulations for that.
Thanks.
We
I
hope to
named
get
her
a
Ruby,
partner.
by the way.
Oh,
Her name is
yeah.
Ruby. That's the name of my favorite song. So when you ask about my interests or passion, I'm interested in music.
Music. So what we'll do is in between the session, we'll have a music session as well.
Sure. And you told me like, what do you wanna do since you are going in the next 15 to 20 days? पार्टी करना है बेंचो. दोस्तों के साथ जम के पार्टी करना है.
So I guess everyone leaves after this. Like most of your people leaves, right? It's
Yeah.
an emotional moment as
Definitely, 2 of my friends left.
well. Oh,
They also 3 of my friends actually. They got interns in different companies and they went. So it was a pretty emotional moment for all of us. Like 4 साल एक
4
साथ
साल एक
बिताया है,
साथ
उसके
अभी
बाद
done.
अभी
बड़ी हसीन है ये ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है कोई तो दिलबर हो यार जिसको तुमसे हो प्यार कोई तो हो रहा जुदा तेरी हर एक बुराई पे डांटे वो दोस्त गम की हो धूप तो साया बने तेरा वो दोस्त नाचे भी वो तेरी खुशी में अरे यारो
तो एक रूम में आना है, गिटार लेके आएगा कोई कुछ और लेके आएगा, पार्टी होता है. एंड दोज थिंग्स विल मिस. एंड व्हेन यू गो टू ए प्रोफेशनल एनवायरनमेंट, आपका किसी और के साथ जो रिश्ता बनता है वो थ्रू प्रोफेशनलिज्म होता है. जब आप कॉलेज में आते हो किसी के साथ, यू मेक फ्रेंड्स, यू मेक अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स एक्चुअली, एंड दोज फ्रेंड्स गेट बॉन्डेड थ्रू सेल्फलेसनेस. कोई भी सेल्फिशनेस नहीं होता कि तुम मेरे को ये दोगे मैं तेरे को वो दूंगा, ऐसा नहीं होता है. सो डेट फ्रेंडशिप, एंड स्पेशली इन इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस, हॉस्टल्स, you know you are living a hostel life, so you know what that emotion is. You know how much pain you have to carry after you leave the hostel. Engineering college hostels has got a separate fan base. वो तो मैं बोलूँगा.
you mentioned hostel, right? Tell me how was hostel life for 4 years?
The best. Hostel transformed me from a boy to a man, I guess. I suppose that statement is enough. I saw the worst days and my best days in my hostel, and my guys, like I have a group of like 12 people. Those 12 people have supported me in every way possible. And I thank them for every single reason, for every single achievement in my life. That's it.
Also a very important part of college, and I think in national and IITs, this is one thing common, that we have clubs, right? Apart from your college activities, we also have clubs where people get bonded, where you follow your own culture, own interest, and you have been a part of the music club for a while. So tell me how much important is it? Like एक चीज़ होती है ना, again you come to college, you come with the mindset of JEE कि JEE के टाइम में बस JEE की थी, तो अभी भी यहाँ पे ये कि कॉलेज करो, कि मतलब पढ़ाई करो. तो most people just think कि आएंगे, बैठेंगे, प्लेसमेंट लेके चले जाएंगे, not really involved with a lot of activities. When I say activities, it also means that following your passion. Maybe if you have a passion, or maybe you are trying to figure out a passion. So what do you say about this? Ki you got placed well, you had a great CG. According to you, accordingly, it's a good CG. It's a good CG. Yeah, even if you don't reveal, it's a good CG, right? You also took part in your musical activities and other activities or sort. So you balanced a lot of things. And it is said that balance is important, right? You just focusing on one thing, maybe you couldn't have got. That's the main thing, right? So tell me more about, is it more important कि बस पढ़ाई करो, या फिर actually explore करो चीज़ें, एक चीज़ को base बना के, मतलब.
Started music because it gave me peace.
And when did you started music?
So my family is kind of a cultural family, so I started learning music when I was like 7-8 years old. But I just learned for like 2-3 years. I didn't complete the whole course, but I started playing guitar when I was in class 7. So from then I have been playing the guitar and singing, and also I tried to make my hands dirty over music production. but sadly I didn't continue it, and I hope I'll continue it in the future. But yeah, when it comes to music and when it comes to passion, following your passion in college, so for me music was an escape from my daily mess. So if you take your passion in a way like that, if you don't take it as a headache कि मुझे यहाँ पे जाना है, ये परफॉर्म करना है, मुझे वहाँ पे जाना है, वो क्लब में जाके ये मीटिंग अटेंड करना है, मुझे ये भाषण देना है, passion is not something like that. Passion is like when you know touch the strings of a guitar, it gives you an internal peace. ठीक है, जैसे लोगों का बहुत अलग अलग एस्केप्स होता है, तो हम लोग का म्यूज़िक है. हम लोग मतलब मैं और 2-3 दोस्त हैं हम लोग का, वी गॉट बॉन्डेड बाय म्यूज़िक, एंड देन आई थिंक म्यूज़िक हैज़ डेफिनेटली अ ग्रेट रोल टू प्ले बिहाइंड all the things that I did in my life. That's it.
How do you plan about pursuing your musical passion now after in your corporate life?
Yeah, in corporate life, definitely there will be very less time. So when it comes to music, as you asked, like, what are my future plans? I think I'll try to make good indie music since I'll be making my hands dirty over, music production. I am also planning to get a GoPro so that I can make some riding vlogs and stuff.
Oh, it's
But
writing
yeah,
block coming.
so I'll make some retro music as well as I'll make my hands dirty over indie music as well if I can. And that's my plans as of now.
Also, tell me as far as the part of the question, how much does joining clubs in college matter? Or is it actually that it doesn't matter at all? You join, you don't join, nothing.
See, many juniors ask me the question कि मुझे ये क्लब ज्वाइन करना है, अगर मैं CV में लिख दूंगा तो उससे कुछ फ़ायदा पड़ेगा क्या? It's not like that. If you join clubs, like there are many clubs, right? There are literary clubs, there are cultural clubs like, dance club, music club, drama club. So I think तुमने जो अब तुम मुझे यहाँ पे बुला के ये पूछ रहे हो कि देखिए आप सीनियर है, आपने ये किया तो आपने क्या क्या किया है. तो when you go through to those clubs, you will meet many seniors like me, जिन्होंने लाइफ में बहुत कुछ फोड़ा है, शायद मेरे से भी ज़्यादा फोड़ा है. तो उन लोग से पूछ के आपको ये आइडिया मिलता है कि उन लोगों ने क्या क्या अलग किया है या फिर क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. सो व्हेन यू टॉक विद दोस सीनियर्स इन ऑल दोस क्लब्स, you might not know how directly you'll get placed, but indirectly आप बहुत कुछ सीखते हो कि कैसे क्या करना है या फिर क्या नहीं करना है, what are the mistakes you shouldn't do. And in literary clubs if you go, or in tech clubs like coding club होता है, फिर GDSE होता है, इन सब में जाने से आपका टेक स्किल्स डेफिनेटली इंप्रूव होगा क्योंकि यू विल वर्क ऑन प्रोजेक्ट्स, यू विल वर्क ऑन रियल वर्ल्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स.
Also, do they ask, like in your CV, when they see your CV, check through your CV, do they actually check that this person is a part of this club? So actually, I think that will be an add bonus, or they don't just give a F to this.
See, when you talk about jobs, let me be clear, there are different roles. There are roles like, as you told, SD होता है, एनालिस्ट होता है, मैनेजमेंट पोस्ट के लिए भी कंपनीज आते हैं, बिजनेस रोल्स के लिए भी कंपनीज आते हैं, सेल्स रोल्स के लिए भी कंपनीज आते हैं. तो सपोज यू हैव अ फेस्ट इन योर कॉलेज, सपोज लेट्स टेक अ फेस्ट ऑफ आवर कॉलेज इन कैंडिसेंस, दैट्स द बिगेस्ट कल्चरल फेस्ट इन नॉर्थ ईस्ट. तो उसमें अगर आप मार्केटिंग टीम में हो and suppose you bought some sponsors to your fest, and you highlight those in your CV, or even if not in your CV, you just tell them roughly how you did that, write in your intro कि आपने नाम बोला अपना, फिर आपने बोला कि what you do did in your curriculum, how is your coding and stuff, and then you go to extracurriculars and you say कि इस फेस्ट में मैं मार्केटिंग टीम में था, मैंने ये sponsors लाया है. तो योर इंटरव्यूअर गेट्स अट्रैक्टेड बाय दैट पॉइंट. अगर वो सेल्स रोल या फिर मैनेजमेंट रोल के लिए आ रहा है तो वो डेफिनेटली अट्रैक्टेड होगा कि बंदे ने कुछ फोड़ा है, 4 years में वो कॉलेज में ऐसे नल्ला बैठा नहीं रहा है, कुछ किया है, मैनेजमेंट में आया है. नॉट लाइक द अदर 10 members ऑफ दोज मैनेजमेंट कमिटी हु डिडंट ब्रिंग एनी सिंगल स्पॉन्सर टू योर कॉलेज, बट ही हैज़ गॉट समथिंग इन हिम. तो डेफिनेटली दे विल डिग डीपर कि तुमने क्या किया है, मेल कैसे किया है, ठीक है. So they might dig deeper. Actually, I have never been to a management interview. I have always been in tech interviews. So yeah, I get to know from my friends कि ऐसा questions होते हैं कि suppose you are, let's say you are the management head of technosis or incandescence. So how in your college fest would you incorporate your management skills or sales skills to invite sponsors to make the fest bigger or something? So if you can एक्सप्लेन एक्सप्लिसिटली क्या क्या करोगे तुम, तुम्हारे पॉइंट्स क्या क्या होंगे, तो डेफिनेटली
I guess they also they look for the experience. If you
Exactly.
have the
Yeah,
experience, you
yeah.
have it, right?
करेक्ट.
Or if you are willing to learn, that also adds, right?
You should just show that you are enthusiastic to learn something and you have got that zeal. मतलब वो potential तो तुम में दिख जाएगा, क्योंकि those people are not, वो लोग नल्ले नहीं होंगे जो लोग interview लेंगे. Definitely they have taken many interviews. Some people come with 20-30 years of taking interviews to take your interview. तो तुम ना जाने कितने नंबर में तुम आओगे उसके इंटरव्यू के लिस्ट में. तो डेफिनेटली दे विल जस्ट सी यू एंड व्हेन यू टॉक द वे यू टॉक, दे विल नो कि इस बंदे में कुछ है या ये बंदा
ऐसे just बोल रहा है, fake रहा है.
फेक रहा है.
Yeah, they get to understand it, right?
एंड इट्स बेटर टू बी ऑनेस्ट इन इंटरव्यूज. इट्स ऑलवेज अ बेटर थिंग.
Faking is not a very good thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Like ऐसे fake ना कि
Yeah.
ये आता है लेकिन अच्छे से नहीं आता.
अच्छे से नहीं
Like,
आता तो
okay.
नहीं होना चाहिए.
Okay.
एंड व्हेन यू सीट इन एन इंटरव्यू, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज यू शुड नो अबाउट द कंपनी वेल, कि ये कंपनी में बैठ रहा हूँ तो ये कंपनी का लीगेसी क्या है, कहाँ पे है, ओके, एंड हाउ आर दे परफॉर्मिंग इन द करेंट मार्केट. एंड इफ़ यू हैव, तो इट्स लाइक अ ब्राउनी पॉइंट दैट आई वुड लाइक टू एड, कि अगर किसी कंपनी में बैठ रहे हो, वहाँ के एम्प्लॉयज़ के साथ कनेक्शन रखो थ्रू लिंक्डइन. प्रोफेशनल है तो प्रोफेशनली कनेक्शन रखो, और उसके बाद ट्राई टू टेक इन्फॉर्मेशन, get more information from them.
Like before even getting into the interview, right?
Exactly,
Doing
exactly,
this.
definitely,
Okay,
definitely.
Okay. And also, since we came into the interview section, just tell me, I'll take specific to this college, but then I think this applies to most of the colleges, NITs and IITs. How many different roles people come here for, like applying, like apart from SDs? What are the different roles they apply? Because we still think that it's a tech or a core job. We don't know the definition of, maybe you said, right? You
See,
said
when it
sales
comes
and
to
management.
core, when it comes to like pure software engineering jobs, it's like SDE. There are architects for cloud. There are roles like analyst. There are roles like data scientist, and yeah, those are pretty much it. Okay, and when it comes to core, I'm not quite well versed in this thing, but yeah, they come normally with the tag of a graduate engineer trainee. That means you are a trainee, technical trainee in that company for a probation of like 6 months or 1 year, and then you get converted to an engineer, or possibly a senior engineer. And some companies directly recruit you as a senior engineer or as a officer engineering. Those are different names that certain companies keep. But when it comes to tech, when you go to core, you have to apply your knowledge of your core domain, and when it comes to
Tech.
tech,
Then
you have
it's
to apply your knowledge of dev
software?
or whatever, ML or anything that you are getting into.
Tell me in general, what are the different rounds that goes in an interview for technical first?
So I'll talk about tech.
Also one more thing. Does the interviews happen online, or you'll sit with the ties and we're sitting in front, like in person?
Depends. First of all, that question I'll answer कि offline होता है या online. That depends. If the company wishes to visit your campus, then they go through all those formal procedures with training and placement cell, and your TNP will definitely inform you whether it's offline or online. So after that you'll follow up. अगर offline होता है तो you have to go to the interview room and sit with the panelists, and then you'll have to go through the process. If it's online, then पूरा interview online होता है. कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि coding round online हो गया, उसके बाद बाकी सब rounds will be offline. Coding round definitely online ही होता है, but sometimes you need to go to a common place where everyone sits in a lab and then appear a test, or sometimes it's like you can give from your room as well, and definitely those are proctored, so there are very less chances that you can cheat. Okay, so when you talk about number of rounds and the name of the rounds, so for a tech interview, I'll speak for a tech interview. IT में अगर जाना है तो नॉर्मली 3 ही राउंड होता है, और उसमें मॉडिफिकेशंस कभी कभी आ जाता है. नॉर्मली क्या होता है, कोडिंग राउंड होता है,
पहला कोडिंग राउंड
होता है, उसके बाद टेक्निकल राउंड होता है, एंड उसके बाद HR राउंड होता है. और इसमें मॉडिफिकेशन ऐसा आ सकता है, अगर टेक्निकल में ज़्यादा घुसना चाहते हैं तो कोडिंग राउंड, टेक्निकल राउंड 1, टेक्निकल राउंड 2, HR राउंड. या फिर ये ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि कोडिंग राउंड, टेक्निकल राउंड, उसके बाद और एक कोडिंग राउंड और एक टेक्निकल राउंड, या फिर एक मैनेजमेंट राउंड, एंड देन कम्स द फाइनल HR राउंड. नाउ एक्सप्लेनिंग द राउंड्स. कोडिंग राउंड में you will get a set of problems, set of DSA questions, or maybe those questions will be CP related, कि CP के जैसा भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, जैसे कोड फोर्सेस में होता है या फिर कोड शेफ में होता है. और DSA बेस्ड अगर हुआ तो देयर आर प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक GFG, लीड कोड एंड ऑल. सो क्वेश्चंस आर फेमिलियर टू ऑल दोज. सो ऐसा क्वेश्चन होता है, तुमको सोल्व करना होता है विद इन ए स्टेपुलेटेड अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम, एंड डेफिनेटली द लेस टाइम यू टेक द बेटर इट इज़ फॉर यू. एंड या एप्टी राउंड भी होता है काफ़ी कंपनीज में. कोडिंग एंड एप्टी तुम मान सकते हो कि सेम ही है. कभी
FT
कभी
means aptitude, right?
एप्टीट्यूड.
Okay.
कभी कभी एप्टी राउंड पहले होता है, उसके बाद कोडिंग होता है. कभी कभी एप्टी कोडिंग कंबाइन होता है, या फिर कभी एप्टी होता ही नहीं है, सिर्फ कोडिंग होता है. तो नॉर्मली कंपनीज क्या करते हैं कि कोडिंग एंड एप्टी एक राउंड में दे कंबाइन इट. एप्टी में नॉर्मल क्वेश्चंस आपका क्या होता है कि क्वालिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड, क्वांटिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड, उसके बाद थोड़ा, समझ रहे हो क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं. हाँ, टेक्निकल राउंड में बेसिकली एक चीज़ कॉमन होता है, वो है डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स एंड एल्गोरिथम्स. दैट्स द क्रक्स. एंड उसके बाद दे रिवॉल्व अराउंड ऊप्स, they revolve around database, they revolve around operating systems, sometimes low level system design as well. लो लेवल सिस्टम डिज़ाइन आपको बहुत सारे कंपनीज में देखने को नहीं मिलेगा, बट इन बिग टेक कंपनीज लाइक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट और से गूगल और
Any FANG company.
yeah, you pretty much it.
Pretty
They sometimes asks questions from low level system design as well. So yeah, those are the rounds. And HR round में क्या होता है कि it's like a normal discussion, but don't think कि वो round is not important. People get rejected in HR round as well, and I think that's one of the biggest regrets. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए किसी के साथ भी.
Means you have the technical skills but don't have the ability to speak.
हाँ, you should have a good communication skill as well, कि तुम अपने thoughts को you can make your, सामने वाले को समझ आना चाहिए तुम क्या क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो. And soft skills are definitely important in any company. Say you go to a professional organization, you don't know how to convey your thoughts, so that's not what
That's
they
not
want
they
from
want,
a
I guess. They will
new
have
hire,
better
right?
people out there, right? They will
Exactly.
replace
They
you
have
easily.
experienced people, but since your college tag is very good, you have a very good TNP sale in your college, and that's why companies visit actually, that this is a very good college, and people, clearing JEE is not a piece of cake for everyone, to be very honest. उसके बाद अगर बंदे आते हैं यहाँ पे तो दे सी डेम एज
इनमें
कुछ
है, कुछ तो है, इनमें है.
तो दे कम फॉर अस, दे कम फॉर
And they
recruiting in
are
colleges like
recruiting
NIT
college.
Silchar,
And
yeah.
then you prove it through the interviews. You prove your own appetite and the intensity, right? This is like the general thing, right? Tell me, the 40 placement, the one you got placed, tell me how was your round, like in deep? फटी थी, नहीं फटी थी, एकदम confidence, how was it?
पहला राउंड एप्टी था, कोडिंग नहीं था, नॉर्मल एप्टी राउंड था. इट वाज ऑनलाइन, मेरा पूरा सिस्टम ऑनलाइन था. तो पहला राउंड वाज दैट, एंड आई डिड द क्वेश्चंस. इट वाज समवेयर मोर अबाउट बिहेवियरल एप्टीट्यूड मोर देन क्वांटिटेटिव और क्वालिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड. एंड उसके बाद मेरा नाम आ गया शॉर्ट लिस्ट में. दैट वाज द फर्स्ट कंपनी आई गॉट शॉर्ट लिस्टेड इन इंटर्नशिप्स. And also from ENI, me and 2-3 people got shortlisted, and it was the first time someone from people from 3-4 people from ENI got shortlisted for technical rounds. उसके बाद आया technical round. I got 2 days to study. उसके बाद those 2 days I didn't sleep. I took caffeine and I studied for a whole night. मैंने TBMS सूप्स ये सब पढ़ा, and उसके बाद इंटरव्यूअर आया, and उसने मुझे पूछा था डेटाबेस से क्वेश्चंस, एंड डेटाबेस वाज नॉट माय स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट. आई इग्नोर डेटाबेस इन माय लोअर सेमिस्टर्स, प्रीवियस सेमिस्टर्स. सो मेरा फट गया पूरा कि बेंचो ये पूछ क्या रहा है, समझ तो नहीं आ रहा है मुझे कुछ भी. तो बोल दिया थोड़ा थोड़ा कि सर ऐसा है ऐसा है, एंड वो समझ गया
इसको आता नहीं है,
इसको आता नहीं है. फिर वो मुझे पूछा तुमको आता क्या है, मैंने बोला सर DSA. फिर उसने DSA का 3 सवाल पूछा मुझे. एक तो लिंक लिस्ट से पूछा था, पेलिंड्रोम लिंक लिस्ट क्वेश्चन, फेमस क्वेश्चन है वो. सेकंड क्वेश्चन पूछा था ट्रीज से कुछ लेफ्ट व्यू या फिर बॉटम व्यू या फिर राइट व्यू टॉप व्यू कुछ था. आई डोंट नो था एग्जैक्ट व्यू क्या पूछा था, लेकिन पूछा था उसने. एंड उसके बाद लास्ट क्वेश्चन एरेज से था, बट वो आई वुड से दैट वाज ऑन हार्डर साइड ऑफ मीडियम. बाकी 2 क्वेश्चंस मीडियम था, तो वो सॉल्व कर लिया मैंने. देन ही वाज लाइक अच्छा ठीक है DSA तुम जानते हो. देन ही वेंट टू नेटवर्क्स, कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क्स में उसने मुझे थोड़ा वही IPv4 IPv6 के बारे में पूछा था कि ये एड्रेसिंग कैसा होता है, एड्रेसिंग स्कीम क्या होता है. फिर वही था बेसिकली DSA और CN में रिवॉल्व किया पहला राउंड मेरा. सो माई सेकेंड राउंड वॉज अबाउट टेक्निकल एंड HR बोथ. तो वो पूछा मेरे को अपने प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में. ही डीप डाइव इनटू माय प्रोजेक्ट. माय प्रोजेक्ट वाज बेस्ड ऑन मशीन लर्निंग एंड थोड़ा सा उसमें कंप्यूटर विजन इंटीग्रेटेड था. तो उसमें बहुत डीपली पूछा मुझे. वो मेरे को बोला कि ओपन योर गिटहब, शो मी द कोड एंड एक्सप्लेन मी. तो मैंने अपना गिटहब खोला. आई मेड हिम लुक एट माई कोड, शेयर माई स्क्रीन एंड आई ट्राई टू एज as clear as possible and I tried to be as honest as possible. उसने मुझे पूछा कि ये लाइन तुमने कहाँ से चिपकाया है. मैंने बोला कि आई गॉट टू नो दिस थिंग फ्रॉम अ नोटबुक एट कैगल. कैगल नाम का एक चीज़ होता है, वो वहाँ पे ML का जो नोटबुक्स है वो रिसर्चर्स वहाँ पे देते हैं. तो उसने बोला तुमने क्या अलग किया इसमें. तो मैंने बोला सर कि वो थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल में घुस जाता हूँ, ठीक है. तो उसमें क्या हुआ कि आपका होता है एक न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स होता है एक चीज़ ML में, डीप लर्निंग में होता है वो. और वो न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स बिना यूज़ किए उसने उसी डेटा सेट पे जो लाइक एक्यूरेसी वो बंदा लाया था, वो मैं बिना न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स यूज़ किए आई अचीव दैट. एंड व्हेन यू डोंट यूज़ न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स, it's not required कि you should have a very high end computational power. So I said कि I had an advantage of my project, that is my project consumes less computational power.
So could be done on any machine available.
Exactly. So he told that this is a good technical answer to my question. और उसने मुझे पूछा कि what do you think would be a good advancement in your project. तो क्या क्या सोच रहे हो तुम, क्या करोगे प्रोजेक्ट में एडवांसमेंट. तो मैं उस टाइम पे 2 सेकंड के लिए रुक गया, क्या बोलूँ इसको. तब मैंने सोचा कि थोड़ा ट्राई करता हूँ इसको मैनिपुलेट करने का. तो मुझे ये पता था कि जो कंपनी में बैठ रहा हूँ वो क्लाउड बेस्ड कंपनी है. तो मैंने बोल दिया पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस से, सर आई वांट टू डिप्लॉय माई प्रोजेक्ट इन क्लाउड. ऐसे बोल दिया. पर मुझे कुछ नहीं आता है. आई लिटरली हैड नो आइडिया व्हाट द फक इज़ क्लाउड एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. मुझे बस ये पता था कि क्लाउड में सॉफ्टवेयर रिसोर्सेज होता है जो लोग यूज़ करते हैं, और उसके लिए वो रिसोर्सेज यूज़ करने के लिए अपने पर्सनल डिवाइसेस का स्पेस नहीं यूज़ होता है. बस इतना पता था. और ये पता था कि सास, यस एंड पैस आर 3 टाइप्स ऑफ क्लाउड्स. इससे मुझे कुछ ज़्यादा पता नहीं था. बट ही वॉज इम्प्रेस्ड.
Oh,
I said luck was a factor. Luck definitely is a factor in every single person's interview. तो उसने बोला कि okay, good, cool, we'll find it out whether you do it or not. ऐसे बोला. फिर वो मुझे बिहेवियरल क्वेश्चंस में पूछा, बहुत डीप गया कि टेल मी अ पॉइंट ऑफ योर लाइफ वेयर यू वर क्रिटिसाइज्ड बाय योर मेंटर, एनी ऑफ योर मेंटर्स, एंड व्हाट वेर द स्टेप्स दैट यू टुक टू रिबाउंड बैक ऑन टू बी बैक ऑन ट्रैक. ऐसा क्वेश्चंस पूछा. तो वो क्वेश्चंस मैं प्रिपेयर करके रखा था क्योंकि आई न्यू इट वाज एन HR राउंड और ये बंदा मुझे फेंक के मारेगा मुंह में, ऐसा क्वेश्चंस. तो दोज क्वेश्चंस प्रीटी मच एवरीवन प्रिपेयर्स बिफोर सिटिंग इन एन इंटरव्यू. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट उसने मुझे पूछा कि डू यू वांट टू गो फॉर फर्दर स्टडीज एंड स्टफ. वो सब पूछा, नॉर्मल क्वेश्चंस. तो हर किसी का अलग अलग अप्रोच होता है वो बताने में. देन आई सेड कि आई थिंक आई वुड गो फॉर ए कॉर्पोरेट MBA इन माई फ्यूचर इफ माई कंपनी परमिट्स मी टू डू सो. ऐसे बोल लिया. ही वॉज सेटिस्फाइड एंड ही सेड या इट वॉज गुड टॉकिंग विथ यू अजानित. फिर मुझे थोड़ा सा ऐसा लगा कि शायद मेरा हो जाए, बट आई वॉज नेवर श्योर कि मेरा हो जाएगा. एंड देन आई गिव द इंटरव्यू. नेक्स्ट डे, नो द सेम डे एट द इवनिंग माई नेम केम. एंड उसके बाद तो पता ही है 10-12 बंदे आके पेल दिए मेरे को. एक ने ट्यूबलाइट फोड़ दिया, एक चेयर उठा के मार रहा है. ठीक है, तो यही हुआ. दैट वॉज माई स्टोरी. या द
मोमेंट. 4 साल जिसके लिए इनडायरेक्टली प्रिपेयर किया, यू गॉट इट, यू गॉट द फल मिल गया उसका, राइट. आई थिंक सीरियस बातें बहुत होगी, लेकिन आई थिंक देर आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स, राइट. व्हेन इट्स लाइक वी टॉक अबाउट प्लेसमेंट, वी टॉक अबाउट इंटर्नशिप, वी टॉक अबाउट द कॉलेज लाइफ, JEE, एवरीथिंग. व्हाट अबाउट वन मोर क्रूशियल फैक्टर, आई गेस. मेरे JEE के टाइम में माई प्रोफेसर यूज टू से दिस टू मी कि अभी पढ़ ले बेटा, कॉलेज में जाके कर लेना मस्ती, रिलेशनशिप भी कर लेना, ये भी कर लेना. हमने भी किया क्योंकि दे यूज टू बी कॉलेज, दे यूज टू ऑल्सो बी IITs and IIM pass out, right? Not IIM, but IITs pass out, right? So they used to say me this. What is your intake on this, considering you are near about to pass out, right? So you have seen the entire college phase. So what's your intake on relationships and other things maybe?
तो भाई सीधा पूछ की बंदी थी कि नहीं या फिर है कि नहीं. Okay. So yeah, back in school I had a girlfriend, but it didn't work out. Sadly, it didn't work out. तो लोग बोलते हैं कि हेड द प्लेयर नॉट द गेम. सो इसी होप में जी रहा हूँ. और ऐसा नहीं है कि आई डोंट यूज टू टॉक टू गर्ल्स और या फिर आई डोंट यूज टू हैंग आउट विद पीपल. आई I'm chilling my college days. I'm entirely doing that. And अभी I don't have many days left in college. And so ऐसा ही है मेरा काफ़ी मतलब it's like I have a stable life. And currently I'm doing good.
Also, they say this one thing, right? Ki always focus on yourself and then you attract people. ये सच होता है या
That's true.
that's true, right?
That's true. I
sir.
think that's true.
Okay.
On a positive note,
On a
that's very true.
Okay. And what about now, considering we are near about to end our podcast because we have little less time. But before that, I would ask you this last set of questions, out of which one being you mentioned about your corporate MBA, right, later, and about other things as well. So what do you think is this is one corporate question. I don't know, it's a meme question that logo ko pucha jata hai ki where do you see 5 years from now. So I'm asking this to you, where do you see 5 years from now, if there is any valid answer to that, or do you even find this question valid?
See, I have got ups in my life, as you all have focused it. And the thing which is not focused is I have got downs as well. And those downs were very heartbreaking at a point of time. So I think there are some things and there are some people, there are human relationships that I need to recover. There are unfinished goals in other sectors of life other than professional life as well. So I see myself as a good human first. I mean, somewhere or the other, I want to do something for the society before I go from this world. That somehow, it's not because I want my name to be remembered or something, but I want the world to be a beautiful place. That's something which I really want. And it's not something that I'm speaking just because this is a podcast and I'll be highlighted over the next 2-3 weeks or something. But I really want the world to be a better place to live. And yeah, if you ask if you go for the technical aspect of it or the side of it, then I'll say, yeah, for the next 2-3 years, my focus will be mainly on professional and my as a whole career growth. And then as I already told you about the corporate MBA, I'll be aiming for that. And also, if time permits and if my focus or my intentions do not change, then I might try for civil services.
That's on the later half, right?
That's only later, but I'm not sure of it right now.
Okay.
That's
Time will say things,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Before ending, also a small topic I want to bring, right? I think engineering colleges are being highlighted with one fact कि यहाँ पे parties होती है, यहाँ पे बस मज़े ही मज़े है, यहाँ पे इतनी पढ़ाई नहीं है, यहाँ पे आपको क्या बोलते हैं फेस्ट होते ही रहते हैं, तो it's always evergreen thing to be done, right? लेकिन then we understand cases of, you understand, right? Mental pressure, cases of people harming themselves, self-harm and this and that, and that's very common in most NITs, IITs or even colleges which are not being highlighted, क्योंकि media highlight नहीं करती हर चीज़, अगर उसमें TRP या फिर कुछ ना मिले, but होते हैं, we understand, we are from here, so we understand how it goes, right? What do you want to say about that, कि अगर वो अंदर से कितना level of pressure एक इंसान को झेलना पड़ता है when he is in college, because that is not shown to the world.
Okay, देखो ये बात ऐसा है कि there definitely is a lot of pressure. And the pressure is up to your neck every single day of your B.Tech life. And till you pass out, till the day you pass out, एक दिन ज़्यादा हो गया, प्रोजेक्ट एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा, एक दिन ज़्यादा हो गया, असाइनमेंट नहीं लेगा, नहीं पढ़ा, बैक लग गया, ऐसा है. तो the thing is, it's not always chill party or something. It is that engineers ऐसा बन जाते हैं कि उनको तुम कुछ भी दे दो, साला एक रात पढ़ के निपटा लेगा वो लोग. ऐसे वो लोग अपने आप को ट्रेन कर लेते हैं कॉलेज आने के बाद. एंड दैट्स ट्रू फॉर एवरी सिंगल पर्सन हु स्टेज इन एन इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज हॉस्टल, आई गेस. कोई भी मेरे को नहीं लगता, जो तुम लोग भी अभी मेरे जूनियर्स हो, मेरे को नहीं लगता तुम लोग भी लाइक 1-2 हफ्ते पहले से भी पढ़ते होगे, right? You study definitely the day before your exams, but you bring average grades or above average grades, definitely. So the thing is, तुम अगर कॉलेज में आने के बाद ऐसा मेरे को ये लगता है, this might not be true for everyone, but I think if you enter into a situation, not just your engineering college, in any sphere of your life, if you enter a situation and you think that pressure लेना है, तो तुम प्रेशर में डूब जाओगे. अगर you think that chill, देख लेंगे जो होगा देख लेंगे, and that attitude is very very important. And जब मैं पहली बार कॉलेज में I walked into my college, that was not what my attitude was. I was like a very serious kind of person who would complete tasks before time. I would not procrastinate anything. But जब मैं अपने दोस्तों से मिला, they were from different backgrounds, and there were people who were very cool. There were people who were very nerdy. But after all I learned कि हाँ, जो 3 Idiots में बोलते हैं ना, all is well, वो मूल मंत्र होना चाहिए अपने लाइफ का, वही है.
प्रेशर आएगा, यू लर्न.
प्रेशर आएगा, प्रेशर जाएगा.
पापा ने सिखाया 99% मार्क्स लाओगे तो खरी, वरना चरी. लिख के पढ़ा हथेली पे अल्फा बीटा गामा का चाला. कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड H2SO4 ने पूरा बचपन चला डाला. बचपन तो गया, जवानी भी गई, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो. बचपन तो गया, जवानी भी गई, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो.
क्या बोलूं इसमें, अभी तक डिग्री नहीं मिला है, तो मैंने जो बोला कि जब तक डिग्री नहीं मिलता है तब तक प्रेशर रहेगा.
हाँ, ट्रू दैट. आप लोगों को डिग्री कब मिलेगी?
After we pass out, like convocations generally happen by November, so like we'll possibly pass out by June or July, and then this college will become an alma mater for me.
And so we'll conclude it. So before concluding, this one last thing I would like to ask you is there is any advice or there is any form of advice from any sector, like maybe personal, professional, you would like to give to two set of people? Number one, the people who are studying right now in college, maybe your juniors, third years, second years, first years, and second one, the people who are just about to enter college. They are giving their JEE. Maybe they will give their
They
JEE
gave
next
JEE
year.
or they are about to give?
They will give their JEE next year or will give their JEE like in this attempt. So like two set of people. What do you want to give?
The first set of people comes. So I'll answer the question in a sequence. For the first set of people who are about to give their JEE, you guys focus well on your studies. Jo like Kaushik already mentioned that his mentor said him कि अभी पढ़ाई कर लो, कॉलेज में मज़े ही मज़े है, and that's a true fact actually. तुम लोग मज़े कर सकते हो, अभी थोड़ा सा पढ़ाई कर लो अच्छे से, give your exams, give your best shot to JEE or any other competitive exams that you are about to give, and then get a good college. If we are students of NIT Silchar, but we still suggest you that if possible, get a better college than NIT Silchar, definitely. Or even if you end up in NIT Silchar or any other, getting an NIT in within the top 10 NITs is a very good thing, And then you ask for the second set of people who are in college. So if you ask me from personal life or professional life or a balanced point of view, I don't think I'm the right person to answer this, because if somewhere or the other I feel sometimes my personal life is fucked up. Sometimes I feel. But if you ask for this placement or professional growth kind of thing, I will definitely say you one thing, that is start as early as possible. Like when I was sitting for my internships, many of my batchmates didn't even start coding. So that was a major reason why the competition was a little less. So I think if you start early, it's better for you. Definitely anything that you want to do, suppose you want to go for core, you want to go for a software company or software job, so accordingly you prepare well right from the very beginning. So once you know what you should not study, the path becomes very clear. That's it.
Okay, and with that we will conclude it. Yeah. I guess someday in Bangalore, another podcast. Sure. That time we hope we'll get another party in Bangalore also. But with that, we are wrapping this podcast. Thank you for having here.
Yeah.
See you soon. We will see you in the next episode. Till then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, we are just 120 subscribers away from reaching 1,000. So I hope you help us reach this milestone as soon as possible before January ends. So see you in the next episode. Till then, bye bye.